Hi everyone, so you're new to Pilates, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an orientation of our beautiful Pilates reformers. Now at City Physio we have 4 reformers, so all of our classes are maximum 4. Generally you're looking at 4, 3 or 2 being the most common combinations. Now a Pilates reformer is this beautiful piece of equipment. It is a series of springs used to create resistance of a carriage. So let's start from the end. I'm going to give you sort of the anatomy of the Pilates reformer. This is a foot bar. Now it is adjustable all the way up or all the way down. Most commonly you'll be using it for your feet, so lying on your back, pressing your feet up against the foot bar. So it'll be roughly in about that position. That's the most common. Now we typically refer to this as the platform and this as the carriage. The carriage itself is movable. Now for safety, we typically store our Pilates reformer up this end with no springs on it, so you're not going to accidentally scoot yourself to the side. But when you come to class, this will usually be fixed with whatever the instructor has wanting set up for the day. So I'm going to put 1 spring on. The springs come in 3 different versions: yellow, green and blue on our reformers. Yellow is over here on the left. Now if you forget, it's all written down under here. Yellow is a 1/4 spring. The middle 3 springs are green and they are 1. And on the end here is a blue spring and that is worth 1/2. So depending on the exercise, we will add more than 1 spring to make it more difficult. Or sometimes you'll find we'll actually go much lighter and take all the springs off and make it really stabilizing and more difficult to control. This piece here is the carriage. Now in the carriage, you can generally be lying on your back. These are shoulder rests and this is the headrest. The headrest is adjustable, it can come up and down. I'm not going to fiddle with that right now. And the shoulder rest is where your shoulders will sit. On the other side of the shoulder rest, you've got these little bars and these are your loops. Now the loops themselves, you've got a short loop and a long loop. So when the instructor asks you to hold onto the long loop, it's generally that position. Short loop, same thing, through the short. And then sometimes we'll actually get you to hold onto the D ring. So I like to hold it with 2 fingers like that so that you can pull with your hands. Your feet can also go into that strap. Now you've also got the rails of the carriage. Now I haven't orientated the camera here to see this, but sometimes we'll ask you to put your hands on the rails of the carriage. So things that in hands and knees where you're pulling with your arms. That is what we're referring to there. Now, safety for the reformer. Please never stand on the carriage itself first. What you're looking to do is always place your foot onto a non-moving part of the reformer. So if you're standing up onto the reformer, your foot goes on the platform first. That's just so in case one of these springs isn't fully locked in, we don't send you flying. To get on and off the reformer, you want to sit down. You're going to get your bottom on the reformer. You're then going to roll down onto your shoulder and then roll onto your back. It's so much easier that way than trying to scoot and get your head in without banging onto the 2 shoulder rests. For women, I typically recommend you tie your hair up nice and high so that when you're lying on your back, you're not having a ponytail in behind you. And I guess this is for all genders. You want to make sure that you're wearing some tights or shorts that keep everything contained, but also aren't see-through when you've got your legs up in the air. So that's pretty much everything to do with the reformer itself. An extra piece of equipment we might use is the long box. So, on the reformer, you've got this configuration. This is what we call long box configuration. And you've also got short box. So any of these 2 positions can be used during the class. In our class, we do not put them over the shoulder rest. Sometimes you'll see a class where we do this, but we've actually got enough length in our reformer that we typically do it this way. If you have any questions, any concerns, drop us a message in the comments before or drop us an email. Looking forward to seeing you in class.